In this riff, I want to bring up a subject, a concept that I feel once you grasp, once you understand, it's going to blow your mind. And why is that? It's going to blow your mind because it's going to pinpoint to your own personal ability as an individual of what you can potentially accomplish, of what you can potentially do if you decide that is exactly what you want to do. Now, this potential is ingrained in our essence. This potential is ingrained in what I like to call our quintessence. Everything that is us, what makes you, what makes you a unique individual with your own thoughts, with your own way of thinking, with your own way of living life. I would say it is hyper important that you come to a comprehension, a full understanding of this concept. And to illustrate this concept, there's a couple stories I want to talk to you about. Think of the Mickey Mouse Corporation. Think of Walt Disney, the creator of the Mickey Mouse Corporation. Everybody is familiar with this character in the Disney parks and just the outstanding success that Walt Disney was able to create in his life, to bring benefits to others, to bring entertainment and things that people love, people attach emotions to. It's essentially a product or a service that through this creation he was able to provide. Think about that concept. Think about how he used his creative ability, his imagination. He used essentially who he was to bring about from himself something that would drastically impact and change the world. And he did, in the sense that it brought tremendous entertainment that people enjoy. We're talking about movies and TV shows and products. Just think how massive this corporation is. Now, what most people don't realize, and they're not fully aware thereof, is that it was not Mickey Mouse who made this corporation successful. And you're going to be thinking, what are you saying? What do you mean? Mickey Mouse is the forefront, is the logo, is the main thing. You think of Walt Disney, and the first thing that comes to mind is the mouse, Mickey Mouse. Yes, but I'm here to tell you that it goes deeper than that. And it's factually something that happened to him prior to his creation of Mickey Mouse. And this is a pattern in a common denominator, I should say, amongst people who have created tremendous, observable, evident success in their life and have left a massive legacy for others to enjoy. And what most people don't understand is that Walt Disney's first creation was actually Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. If you don't believe me, you can look it up, Google it. That was his first creation. That's what came out of him first. He created Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. But unfortunately, he went through a situation where the company that he was working for, the company that was using his creation, his intellectual property, pretty much ended up stealing his intellectual property from him. And this was a devastating event that happened to Walt Disney. But this helped him launch himself into the best thing that could ever happen to him. And of course, that was Mickey Mouse and the Walt Disney Corporation, the beginning of it. And this is significant because what happened to Walt Disney, I would suggest, is that in his mind, he went through a mental process where he realized, where he became aware of his unique creative ability. He realized that this company that stole his intellectual property was profiting and trying to do business with his creation, with his unique ability and the fruitage that came from that. He realized that it wasn't Oswald the Lucky Rabbit that was the thing that was going to make him successful. It was his creative ability and how he created Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. So he came to that full realization. He knew that to be true. And that's why he was able to come up with Mickey Mouse. And to make a long story short, think about it. Where's Oswald the Lucky Rabbit today? Nobody knows him. There are very few people that are even aware of who he is. But guess what? Everybody knows who Mickey Mouse is. And this is highly relevant to you and I, to your creative ability, to who you are as an individual. And there's a parallel story that runs similar to this one. And that's that of the late Steve Jobs, the creator of the Apple Corporation. And I would highly encourage you that if you haven't done so, watch the recent movies made by Hollywood about him and how there was this period of time for him where he went through what seemed a catastrophe, a situation that was about to ruin him. It was a period of time where Steve Jobs was actually fired by his board of directors from the corporation because they thought that the hardships that the company was going through were his fault. That it was him that was the problem, and that they needed to do away with him. But you got to remember, just like Walt Disney created Oswald the Lucky Rabbit and Mickey Mouse, this board of directors didn't realize that they were essentially trying to profit from something that was not their creation. This was Steve Jobs' creation. This was his unique thumbprint that created the Apple Corporation. It was his depth of vision. It was his unique ability to envision something, and he created it in his real life, and he ended up with the Apple Corporation. And even though he went public, and even though these people appreciated his vision and ended up investing in his vision, these people did not realize that the corporation, the Apple product, was Steve Jobs' creation. And what happened after they fired him? The company almost went bankrupt. They went through even harder situations and challenges that they could not get out of. And Steve Jobs was forced to watch from the sidelines. He had to watch this happen to his creation. But guess what happened? He came back. He came back and took ownership of his creation, his vision, what came out of his quintessence, who he was, because it's intrinsically connected to him, not the board of directors or anyone else. It's what he was. And guess what happened? He came out of darkness, essentially, and made the Apple company a quantum leap of progress. He came out with the iPod. He came out with the iPad and the touchscreen technology, which revolutionized, cell phone and computer technology. And it was just mind-blowing. And he was also a marketing genius. And just the level where Apple was able to reach, thanks to his efforts, thanks to his vision, is just mind-blowing. It is highly significant for us to be able to discern, to think about people's creative ability. Success leaves clues. And are we trying to find and study what those clues are so that we ourselves may benefit? So I'm here to tell you that you and I, in the same way, we have a similar gift. It's the treasure of our hearts. It is something that we can bring out of ourselves and bring into the world for people to benefit. Because we are in this world, we are in this planet to serve, to provide good things to others. I will call this God's gift to us, for us, to serve to others. I will call this, or some people will call it, or have called it, your soul purpose, or your soul desire. And this is not I would suggest that you don't think of this as this spiritual, esoteric observation of reality, but as factual, unique understanding of a new way of thinking, backed up by yes, spirituality, success philosophy, but also quantum mechanics. And it has to do with the implications of quantum superposition. Now, what is quantum superposition? I'm going to go over that on the second part of this riff. So look forward to that. If you feel that this information piqued your interest, you feel this is valuable, put a like, put a comment, subscribe to the channel so you can get future content and be reminded of these things, of your creative ability. So look forward to the second part of this riff and how I will describe how quantum superposition points to this fantastic idea of how you and I as individuals can harness this vision from within and bring it out and bring benefits to the world, and at the same time bringing benefits to ourselves and our loved ones. This is probably one of my most important messages that I describe in my book, Blueprint for Immortality, the Quantum Code for Life Secrets to Success, which I highly suggest you purchase your own copy and add it to your own collection, your own library. I highly suggest that it is a book that you read many times and integrates knowledge, because it will literally help you draw within yourself this vision for others to benefit from, and of course for you to benefit from it. So again, I highly encourage you that you purchase your own copy if you haven't already done so. It's on Amazon. Look for it. Look up the video description. It's on the link, and it will support this channel as well. So look forward to the second part of this riff, and I look forward to reading your comments. And if you have any questions or observations, I also look forward to reading those from you. All right, take care. I'll see you next time.